is actually the elements of the whole supply chain. You know, supply chain meaning from raw materials to a toy a child plays with somewhere in the world. How do you get that process completed? And logistics is the elements within that, and there's many factors that come into it.
It is a trend seen more and more in logistics. 6 years ago, this company was a simple warehousing firm. Its managing director says that narrow focus ceased to be viable. It spurred a billion-dollar transformation of the company from a landlord to a service provider.
We see a bleak future for pure warehousing due to oversupply. This is no longer manufacturing in Hong Kong. So the demand for raw material storage or storage of finished goods is not there. And these customers actually wanted us to do more. Rather than just storage, how about land transport, how about repackaging, how about price tagging and so on.
They are even considering cooking the rice they deliver to a local fast food chain. The chain will pay extra for the service, earning the company a higher margin as opposed to just plunking a sack of rice on the doorstep. Here, quality control is included with the services offered. It takes a huge amount of computer hardware and software development to do the job. That has made the industry here smarter and more productive and exportable.
Hong Kong is probably one of the best in the world in terms of honesty, in terms of speed of work and hard work and smart work. But when we go into other places, including China, we actually have to start almost from scratch in terms of finding proper facilities and training staff. So we often use Hong Kong people to go there and train the staff.
All these manufacturers are in China, and when they seek for, say, improvement in the logistic-related issues, they will try to locate all these consultants in Hong Kong.
The expansion of the supply chain and distribution end of the logistics trade is the growth story of the industry. But on the purely physical side, where stuff is moved from point to point, on land and on sea, the industry has some problems. We may nod off at the very mention of the word logistics, but keep in mind, as you sleep, it's a fifth of the Hong Kong economy. But the dream of remaining a logistics hub could turn into a nightmare if relentless competitive pressures are not addressed.
Well, what is the most pressing challenge today facing the industry?
Definitely competition.
The city's air cargo hub still enjoys vast superiority over regional competitors, but the shipping terminals aren't so lucky. While the industry continues to grow by about 4% a year, it's a far cry from the double-digit growth it used to enjoy. Our terminals will handle 23 million of these containers in 2006. Each one from China costs $200 more to ship from here compared to a container going straight out from the mainland. That pricing pressure is squeezing what was once a thriving trade of acting as the port and air hub for the mainland. China has spent handsomely on infrastructure, but luckily for Hong Kong, there are still factors that keep our port busy.
We are living on China's inefficiency. With the SAR status, we are not exactly part of China. There are hurdles at the border. So if we want to continue to service China, particularly South China, we must ensure there's a very smooth flow of goods in and out. And that means good connectivity. And that is something we can do.
The new Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Corridor should flatten some of the kinks in the flow of goods into Hong Kong. But still, on the cost side, even the industry's lobby group in Hong Kong believes there should be more price competition at Hong Kong's container terminals to reduce the terminal handling charge, or THC.
The four operators in Hong Kong, the terminals, are charging the same rate, same THC. So if it is an open market, why they charge all the same? These parties try to avoid, discussing these issues for the last few years. This is the question we always ask. We always, request the government to tap on this issue.
The market is not opened.
Not open enough.
Not enough.
I see. Okay. So you'd like to see more competition?
Yeah, just like the telecommunication business.
Oh, that's very competitive.
When it opened it up, it's very competitive.
A range of things we can do.
The chairman of the Logistics Development Council, the permanent secretary for economic development, says charges are a free market issue.
Hong Kong has always been a privately driven port. We're not a government-owned port. If you look at the existing port, I think they're very efficient. The competition is not just amongst themselves, it's regional, it's global. So I think at the moment, if we look at the port as it is, we believe that a lot of private sector initiative is there.
Another initiative under study has also drawn fire from the industry. The government wants to develop a logistics park to enhance the natural strengths of the industry here, its efficiency. It will be built on reclaimed land on the north side of Lantau between Disney and Hong Kong International Airport.
A park is a physical asset to us. So unless we can find a way to really provide add value services in the park, we are still in the stage one.
Okay.
Just building more hardware.
Right.
What's the point of building more hardware?
Oh, okay.
We have hardware. There are so many empty factories which can be converted immediately into a warehouse or logistics center, whatever you call it. So what are we adding? Well, how can we help the industry?
The big project on the horizon is the Macau-Zhuhai-Hong Kong Bridge. Industry players believe that overall Hong Kong can still enjoy a logistics edge by ultimately being one of a kind on the Chinese coast.
Hong Kong being a free port can also act as the hub for other Asian countries. And at the moment, in the whole of China, there's no such port available.
Even if we were the second or third or fifth largest port in the world, we're still going to be a very significant, it's still going to be a very significant industry. So I'm more of an optimist. I think we will find solutions to the problem.
When we come back, we'll take a look at some initial public offerings lined up for this month. Please stay with us.